Welcome to this shortwave radio channel, and of course, we are taking a look this week at the megahertz by megahertz spectrum. And one of them, of course, is the 12 megahertz range, so 12,000 to 13,000 kilohertz. So that band is in big part a maritime band. So that means that all sorts of different communications can be heard. Of course, a lot of the transmissions in the maritime band over the years have moved on to other modes of communications, including satellite. But still, there's a lot of stuff to listen to on this band. Um, the first chunk that we'll talk about here is 12,000 to 12,200 roughly. So you see here there are a few signals that are popping up. These are international broadcasters for the most part. That first chunk of about 150 to 200 kilohertz is the last part of the upper range of the 25 meter band. Notable stations is the BBC using 12095, for example. That big signal here you see is WWCR on 12160 actually. So these are stations that are using the that part of the spectrum. But once you move up above about 12200, you are now in the range of what is mostly maritime type transmissions. You might hear channel markers with CW markers from different maritime stations. You might hear communications of all sorts. There are still some, even though not a lot of them, there's still some phone patches from ship to shore that do happen from certain boats. There's different little things that can happen here and there. It's a chunk of frequency to look at regularly. If you have an SDR, use it. As you see here, there are different signals that pop up that go away. You might be surprised if you look at this or tune around this band regularly of all the things that you'll actually be hearing. And pretty much all of it will be in that range. Now, there's not just that in there. I've heard tons of things in here. I've heard transmissions from studio links from stations in South America. I've heard so many different types of transmissions in here. Of course, weather facts transmissions that you can hear some stations use, especially on the upper range, like 12 around 12780, 12790. There are some weather facts transmissions in here that are broadcast. So these are some of the frequencies that you should be tuning around and checking out. And you never know what you could hear, and sometimes stations pop in and out. You see here I've got some little transmissions that pop in and out in different areas. It's worth checking out. There's some Stanag also, of course, including one station I believe that you can clearly decode in Stanag 4285 from Senegal that sometimes you can actually receive on the range. So check it out. An interesting range. I regularly tune in to signals in there. I remember being rewarded, I think it was last year, on the upper part. I don't remember what frequency exactly, but like 12, around 12,890 or somewhere around there, the upper chunk of that range. I heard CW Maritime Station from Seoul, Korea, in South Korea, which was kind of really cool to listen to. So check it out. Never know what you could hear, and you could be very surprised, even though if it looks quiet right now because of possibly the time of day that I'm doing the video. This band could be actually crowded with quite a lot of little interesting signals, including also fishermen that are doing communications together. So, of course, a single sideband receiver is a must to listen to 12 to 13 because pretty much everything in there will be in, sideband. But check it out. And, of course, you got the bottom part, which is the international broadcast band of 25 meters. That's ending just there. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up, and thanks for following us on the channel.